Alright, hey, Haze Mega here, and welcome to another Haze Mega desktop anime figure show and tell with Yousei Yunde, or High Elf. I call her High Elf Archer. Alright, I read the novels, okay? But that's what Yousei Yunde means, High Elf Archer. Yes, Goblin Slayer is one of those anime or manga where the characters have like no names, okay? And that's the only thing we can call her, okay? But this is actually Hades Mega has been reading the Goblin Slayer novels for a while. I've actually read Goblin Slayer for before the anime came out. Boom! All right, so there it is. So on the volume 2 of Goblin Slayer is a beautiful picture of High Elf Archer. All right, and I always like this picture a whole lot. The artwork is so good in Goblin Slayer, and I always wanted to get this figure. I also want to get the priestess figure. All right, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, but this figure was not cheap. All right, guys, I got this from Akiba Soul. I think she just I was just on Akiba Soul and I saw her pop up, and I know this figure is really expensive. I bought this figure May 8th, 2021. All right, so about 2 years now. I've had this figure for 2 years. She's just been sitting around waiting to be figure show and tell, and here we're gonna finally do it because the second season of Goblin Slayer anime has come out. All right, we're already like mid-season, okay? And I wanted to do this figure video. All right. Also, there is a second run of this figure that's gonna come out. A second run for the priestess figure. There's going to be a second run for High Elf Archer. So if you want to get this figure, you can you have another shot of getting her brand new. Okay, so this is a brand new figure. I looked at it. I was like, oh, this has not been unboxed yet. So I got lucky. I got this figure for $180. All right, Haze Mega doesn't normally pay that much for figures, but that's a lot. That's a big chunk of change, man. And I got it for $6 flat rate shipping. And the reason I jumped on her was because she was in the United States already, and I knew it was going to cost a lot of money to ship this figure because this figure is huge. Look at her, okay? And I got her from Akiba Soul. All right, Akiba Soul's in the United States, and they have a pre-owned figure section. And I saw her one day in May 2021, and I said, "Oh, I'm going to totally buy that. I really want it." so there you go. I got her. All right, and then 2 years later, I'm finally gonna take her out of the box to share with everyone else. Okay, so $186 total with the shipping. Akiba Soul. That's how I got her. Okay, and yes, and this figure is based off the Volume 2 artwork. All right, there's also like an alternate image inside, I believe. Yeah, kind of more angry looking face. Making fun of her Chestis's face. Okay, so let's go start the figure show and tell. We're gonna take a look at the box first. All right, so this is the front of the box. It's really big, guys. What do I have to? Okay, yeah, the manga. All right, it's almost double the size of the manga. You can put two mangas on top of the other, and it's almost the same size. Okay, so it is giant. The box it's tall. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna say it's tall. All right. It says Goblin Slayer here. It says in English, he does not let anyone roll the dice. All right. Yeah, that's what Goblin Slayer is about. All right. And then here you've got a picture of High Elf Archer's face. All right. This is a 1/7 scale figure, and I imagine this says Yousei Yunde. Okay, which means High Elf Archer. Right, that's what they call her in the English novels. You've got we'll say that's an 80% window. Would this make a good box figure? Yes, this would make a great box figure. In fact, I've been displaying her on top of my bookcase for quite a while now. It's quite a tall box though, so make sure you got placed vertically to view her. That's what I want to say. Well, probably what I'm going to do is probably just take out all this plastic protective stuff inside and then just put her back in. Okay. Yeah. So you can see into the box. You can see she's got her bow right there. Okay, this side has a full shot of the figure. Alright, there's the Goblin Slayer logo right there. It says Goblin Slayer on the top. Okay, oh, there it is. Phat Company, alright? So Phat Company is the producer of this figure. There's a, say, maybe that's like a 40% window, 45%. Same Goblin Slayer logo right here, much larger. Alright, this is Good Smile Company right here. So Good Smile Company had something to do with the production of this figure. It's made out of PVC and ABS. There's two of them. I guess the bow is made out of ABS. Okay, there's a Good Smile logo right there. Made in China. Here's some English here, some stuff about choking stuff for little kids. Okay, yeah, and then we've got the Phat Company URL here and the Good Smile Company URL. So it's kind of like a Good Smile Company and Phat Company were working together on this figure. I don't have. And then here's the this side here. It just says Goblin Slayer right here, and it's kind of got a picture of the figure, sort of in like a kind of monochrome background, and it's got like some diamond plating and stuff. Interesting box art. There's some chains here. Okay, it's green, Goblin Slayer, and we're here back at the front. Let me see if I can pull out the sculptor and the painter for this figure. Okay, so here's some extra info from the myfigurecollection.net. The sculptor is Masaki Yusuke, and the color producer, or the painter, in this is Wakimeka no Matsu. Okay, this figure was released in 11/24/2020. All right, so it's about 3 years old now, for about 17,800 yen. So I think I got a decent deal on her. Okay, I pretty much paid for, you know, how much the retail, but like the shipping was a lot cheaper since she was in the States, so that's why I jumped on her. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the top of the box real quick. It's really dusty. I tried to clean it as best as I could, guys, but it's been sitting on top of my bookcase. It's got the Goblin Slayer logo and the Phat Company logo on it. All right, and there's a window on top to let light into the box. Okay. Okay, and then there's the bottom. It's got a little bit more info. Something it's in different languages, but the one in English says, oh, there's a lot of languages. Holy moly. There's got to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different languages. More like 10 languages on this. And none of them are in English, I notice. Yeah, none of them are in English. I guess the English one is in the back. I think it's the choking hazard warning. That's what it is. Jesus, a lot. I wonder, do they have to do that? Is that like a, you know? I'm pretty sure I'd imported this figure. This figure was supposed to be sold in Japan only, sort of. Okay. And like I said, there is a second run of her coming out. Yeah, so as of this video, the second run of this figure is supposed to be released in June 2024. So about half a year from now. Okay, so you can get yourself a brand new Yousei Yunde, or High Elf Archer figure. Okay, let's go do the unboxing. Okay, unboxing. Brand new figure, never taken out of the box, because I can see these little dots here. They're still they haven't been cut yet. Figure's in great shape. The box is a little banged up. I think it's because of being me. All right. Okay, this is what the inside of the box looks like. Okay, it's just green and it says Goblin Slayer on it. And then there's a little manual inside there. Let's see what that says. Okay, it's all in Japanese. I can't read it, guys. If you can read it, please let me know what that says. Okay. Okay, there she is. High Elf Archer. Finally. Right? Okay, so here's how the assembly goes. There's the base, and then the figure itself, and then the hand with the bow already on it. Okay, there. So there's a couple options that you can do with this. Man, this is such a nice figure. There's a couple options you can do with this figure. You could do it hand without the bow. All right. There's the hand without the bow. You just pull it out and stick it in there. All right. You can take the arrows out of the quiver. All right, guys. The quiver, the arrows come out of the quiver. I think they do. I was messing around with them. I don't know. Maybe you can't. Okay, you can't take the arrows out of the quiver, dude. But they're in there. You can like kind of finagle them a little bit. It's kind of cool. And you can take her cloak off, right, or her mantle or cape, whatever you guys call it. All right. And man, this figure is absolutely gorgeous. I just want to say, alrighty. Okay, so there's the base, the figure, and then this alternate arm. All right, with the bow and stuff. All right, you can show her without the bow or with the bow. There is a ton of plastic. You guys saw in the assembly video that man, there was a lot of taking plastic off. Right, there's plastic on her legs, plastic everywhere. For a $180 figure, that's what I would expect. All right. Yeah, there was so much plastic to take off. All right, but I'm just gonna leave it off for now on. Okay. And yeah, so her head comes off. You got to take her head off to take the plastic off, unless you cut the plastic off. All right. My suggestion is just take her head off, right, and then put it back on. But it's also kind of tricky because she has the long ponytail. She's got that long, beautiful ponytail, and you got to put it inside the cape. All right, it goes inside the cape. And you could also take the cape off. While you don't have to have it on there. So that is a option that you can do, all right? But I will just leave it on there, since it's true to the artwork, all right? It looks, and if you look at the artwork, it looks exactly like the artwork, guys. Phat Company did an excellent job. I know people been bashing on Phat Company and stuff. I have a couple Phat Company figures, and no complaints, man. They do great figures. Okay. All right, there she is, fully assembled. Like pretty much 3 pieces, pretty much. Okay, but there is a lot of taking the plastic out, and you're gonna have to disassemble the figure to get all the plastics out. Okay. Let's do a quick 360, and then I'll take a closer look at her, and inspect her and scrutinize her, and then we'll take a closer look at her and scrutinize her. Okay, I think they want you to display her like that, kind of like that, yeah, just like in the artwork. Okay. All right, see you guys in a bit. Okay, and we're back. So we're going to go take a closer look at High Elf Archer and scrutinize anything, but there's really nothing to scrutinize about, guys. She is absolutely perfection. She's gorgeous. All right, and I think out of all the Goblin Slayer figures that came out, I think this is probably the one I wanted the most. Okay, the next is probably the Priestess, and the next is probably the Sword Maiden. Okay, but yeah, they're my favorite characters. So High Elf Archer is one of my favorite. She's a cutie, that's for sure. Okay, and this figure definitely does the artist justice, is what I want to say. Okay, they reproduced it almost perfectly. I can see a little bit different stuff than it is on the illustration. The illustration is by Noboru Kanatuki. Okay, if you guys are wondering, also, they definitely did him justice with this figure. Okay, so let's start at the base, and then we'll work our way up. All right, I already like it. You know, for $180, you better like A's and All right. Okay, so this is the base. It's a square base, and she's kind of you kind of view her at like the diamond angle, right? It says Goblin Slayer here. He does not let anyone roll the dice, is what it says. Okay, and it's a kind of burgundy kind of clear color. All right, it is flat. Yep, it's flat. I believe it or not, there's figures that come with not flat bases. Okay, this figure looks like, this base looks like it attracts a lot of dust, man. It's already sucking up dust from everywhere. I don't know why. Okay, let's take a look at her boot. All right, so there is only 2 pegs holding this figure up. Would she be a leaner? You know what? That's a good question. Yeah, let's address that. Does it look like she'll be a leaner in the future? Maybe. Maybe. The figure is kind of... Let me see. Let's pick it up. It's a little on the heavy side. It's a big figure, guys. It's a big figure. So she may be a leaner in the future, all right? But Hayes Mega plans to just keep her in the box. She looks great in the box already, so I'm just going to leave her in the box. Okay, but yeah, there is 2 plastic pegs holding her foot up. Right here, I didn't mention it before, but yeah. There's 2 plastic pegs that hold her foot up, and then that's what holds the rest of the figure up. So there's a lot of weight on this one, you know, these 2 pegs here. So hopefully it's balanced pretty well. I would hope it is, all right, and hopefully it doesn't lean in the future. It would have been nice if they used like maybe a thicker steel peg or something. Okay, but for the most part, she looks pretty well balanced. All right, the weight is like up and down pretty much, not out and about like some other figures. So it's okay. All right, so there's the boot. It looks like it's a kind of brown leather boot, very long. It looks like it goes up to her knee. All right, it goes like around her knee or something. And she's got like a leggings on top there. So a lot going on with her outfit. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, so brown leather. It also does have shading. It gets darker like here, and it gets lighter up here. It gets kind of lighter on the bottom a little bit. There's like, you can see the folds and stuff into her boots and stuff. You can also, in the artwork, you don't see her boots, so that's some special stuff right there. Maybe they have an alternate artwork that shows her whole body. I'm not sure, but okay. There's the soles. It's like the darkest brown out of all the other browns. All right. It's darker around where the folds are here. Very nice. Very nice boot. Very good molding. Very good paint. Very good shading. All right. Hayes Mega likes shading a lot. Okay. Let's move on up. Go take a look at her legs. She's got some nice plump legs. That's what I'm gonna say. You can see the other leg right here. She's got these kind of green leggings, very bright kind of green, and it does have shading, lots of shading. The dude that colored this, good job. That's what I say. They did a great job. All right, you can see these buckles holding it together. Yeah, there's a buckle around it, and then the buckles look like they're like a brass color. Very nice. Let's zoom in a little bit on that. Okay. Very nice. Alright, you can see into the leggings also. Very nice. It looks like she's wearing like a kind of black stockings underneath everything, like a black sock. Okay, look at all these folds and everything. All the ruffles and stuff. They do match the artwork. Check this out. Since I have the artwork, we can compare it. So there it is. There's the artwork, and then and it matches it nicely. That's what I'll say. Okay, you can see the other boot. Same story. It's a brown, big long brown leather boot that comes up just below her knee. I thought it goes around her knee, but her knee is like actually right here. Okay, so. There's just a cutout here. I don't know why there's a cutout there. That's a good question. But they're pretty long. They're like below the knee boots. Okay, you can see the sole on this one. It looks like I don't have her on the base all the way. Let me fix that. Oh no, you know what? There's a steel peg. There's one steel peg, guys. It's all good. That's all I was wondering. I was hoping there we go. I got her on there all the way. So yeah, make sure she's on there all the way. Yeah, there's a steel peg right here holding this part right. Okay, it's darker than lighter, and then the soles are dark. Here you can see that it's just a kind of straight sole. There's, yeah, you know what? There's not really too much detail to the boot, is what I'm gonna say. But it, like I said, in the artwork, it's not even in the thing. So, okay, there's the back of the leggings. That bright green color, kind of like a Kawasaki green. Okay, and there is the absolute terror field. All right, that's the area between the thigh, the top of the stockings, and the top of the on the bottom of the skirt or something. You know, it's the thigh gap. All right, she's got a little bit of a thigh gap, guys. Yeah. Okay. Very nice. I can't find anything wrong with it at all. At least this specific one. Alright, let's go take a look at her. She's wearing like a shorts is what she's wearing. They're like a brown, they're kind of like a leather shorts or something. Okay, yeah, so there it is. You can see lots of folds and everything, just like in the artwork. Okay, yeah, so there's the artwork. Alright, lots of folds and stuff, lots of different shades of brown. Alright, and that's the same thing with the figure. Alright, you can see it gets darker here and lighter and around there. This kind of little button here looks a little different than it does in the artwork. It just kind of should be like a brass color. And yeah, it does. It looks different than the other brown. So okay, very nice. You get a shot of the booty right there. Very nice. Okay, let's go take a look at some of the accessories while we're in that area. All right, she's wearing this belt, and it just kind of like, it looks like it's way too big for her. It's just really big, but it's true to the artwork, guys. There looks like there's like a big brass buckle here, and then she's got a pouch here. All right, probably like that's the potion pouch or something. All right, and it's like a kind of like a darker brown leather color. All right, it's got the brass button right there. Right, there's also a buckle on the back, and so there's two buckles, and those buckles attach to the quiver. All right, and so there's the quiver. It's this big kind of rectangular box thing. All right, and it's black and gray. That's what it is, and the gray parts are shaded. All right, lots of shading there. All right, there's some straps. I think they're plastic. Yeah, they're plastic. How it's being held on, I don't know. It just is, her butt is holding it up is what it is, what's going on. Alright, and these straps. Alright, but the straps go to the buckles that were on the belt. Alright, and the straps are like, they're like a black color. Alright, and then all the mounts for the straps are kind of this kind of gold or brass color. Bronze. Alright, and then there's the quiver with the arrows. Right, you can see she's reaching into the quiver to pull out an arrow right there. Very nice. And if you kind of touch them, they move a little bit, but you can't take them out. I think they're glued in there. Pretty cool. And looks like they're wooden arrows. Okay, they're wooden arrows, and it looks like the fletching is like it's only one side of the fletching. Some arrows I think have three fletching, some have 4. You know, this one only has 2. Okay, so that's the accessories that go attached to the belt. Pretty rad. I like it, man. And she's grabbing in there. She's got like she's ready to go knock an arrow. Okay. All right, Izumega does a little archery. So, all right, and then there's the top of her outfit. Okay. It's that kind of bright green color. It really pops out compared to the rest of the figure that's all kind of brown and black, is what I want to say, which is nice. It looks like there's kind of like this kind of corset part to the bottom part. It cinches or tightens the bottom part to her waist or her tummy. She's very, very slender. All right. What is it? The dwarf always makes fun of her chestises. In my opinion, she's got a little bit there. B, maybe even a C. Alright. She looks perfectly fine to me. She's beautiful. For her size, it's okay. All right, and then so yeah, so there's also like a belt that goes right below her chestises, all right, or right below her boobies. There's a belt buckle right here, and then I don't know what these, there's kind of these kind of bronze ornaments here, and then she's got two knives. They look like kunais, the ninja throwing knives. Two knives hanging out there. This seems like a lot of stuff to be dangling around there. Okay, and it goes around her back. Okay. Oh, and here you go. You get a little shot of the top of her booty a little bit here. All right, just a little bit, because her outfit kind of opens up forward and backwards. All right, and you can see, yeah, you can see the skin on top of her butt. She has very nice, soft, fair skin. That's what I want to say. Same thing with the other side. You can actually see into the shorts that she's wearing. Okay. All right, we're gonna go take a look at the top of the outfit. The part that holds her boobies together is white. All right, and it has like some kind of panel lining on it. It's got lots of ruffles and stuff on it. Very nice. There's not too much. Yeah, there's not any shading on her outfit at all, actually. Okay, you get a view of her armpit. There you go, guys. All right, and then her arm is kind of bent back, so she's pulling the arrow, one of the arrows, out of the quiver. She's got these really like big leather gloves. All right, I don't know how she shoots arrows with these gloves on, man. They look like leather work gloves is what they do. All right, and then the cuff is really poofy. All right, you can see inside a whole lot. Very nice. And then there's like a kind of a buckle, a cinch buckle right here, a bronze cinch buckle. There's so much detail on this figure, guys. Look at all the ruffles and stuff. It doesn't look like, there might be a little bit of shading on the gloves. All right, so let's take a look at the other arm, and then we'll take a look at the bow. All right, so the other arm actually there's a sleeve to it. All right, so one is sleeveless. All right, and very nice, smooth, fair skin, not too shiny, not too shiny, not too dull, just right. They did the skin nicely. She's got very nice skin. Okay, and then so the other arm has a sleeve over it. All right, it's like a black sleeve, and it's got like plenty of ruffles and stuff in it, just like the artwork. All right, if you look at the artwork. All right, yeah, it's just like the artwork. Oh, you know what? One thing that's missing from the artwork is this part isn't here. I don't really know what that is. I don't really know what it attaches to, because it doesn't attach to the cape. All right, but yeah, if you look up here, she doesn't have that. And I think it's a good idea that they took it off, because it doesn't look like it's really attached to anything. Okay. All right, so there's a metal plate right here. Yeah, and then it goes to her the other gloved hand right here, and like I mentioned, that there is another glove for that, a gloved hand. All right, it looks like she's grabbing the arrow, grabbing the bow, but she's not, because there's a separate arm for that. Okay, so I guess when you're going to display her in the box, you got to use this one. All right, and then when you're going to be displaying her outside of the box, you gotta use the other one. All right, so she's holding the bow, else you'd have nowhere to, or you could just not have the bow on there also. So you got options. Okay. All right, and then there's that kind of bronze buckle over there, and then here's the let's take a look at this bow. All right, so there's a bow. It looks like a kind of long, looks like a recurve bow actually. Yeah, it's like it's straight and it curves in the other direction. So it's kind of like a wooden recurve bow. Yeah, that's what it is. It's a recurve bow. So, all right, and the string is made out of metal. Yeah, that's interesting. All right, it's just like a steel wire or something. Okay. In the book, I think she mentions it's the string on her bow is made out of like a spider silk or something. It's either a spider silk or like a horsehair or something like that. All right, I think it's a spider silk. That's what I remember her talking when she was making the string for it and stuff. Okay, it has there's the handle right there. All right, there's no sights on it at all. All right, but she's supposed to be exceptional archer. All right, because she's a high elf. Okay, and then there's some panel lining for the grip. And then there's these silver, yeah, it looks like there's some kind of silver bands on it that helps hold the grips together. All right, and then it looks like the rest is made out of wood. All right, it looks nice. It's a plasticky wood. It's got a little bit of shading in it. You can see it gets darker here and then lighter at the tips. All right, at the very tips are this kind of green color, sort of, like an olive color. Right, and then that's where the string is mounted to. Right, there's like a loop, like a metal loop over there. Right, and it's the same thing for the top of the bow. Same thing for the other side, just the opposite direction. Very nice. I don't see anything wrong with it. It does come really, really close to the cape here. All right, it like literally it touches it almost. Okay, and let's head on up. Take a look at her head and her face. Okay, there she is. It's a high elf archer. So if you guys didn't know that she's why they call her high elf and not a regular elf is because the length of her ears. All right, she has a really long ears. She's I think she's like a princess too or something. Okay, she's really old too, by the way, guys. Yeah, and then so she has a green hair, right? It's a different color green than her outfit. It's like kind of she looks a lot like another character. She looks like Shinon from Sword Art Online, sort of. If I think about it, she's got these two pigtails here. All right, she looks like she's got short hair, but she doesn't. All right. She's got like two pigtails here, and they're tied by black bows here. Right, very nice. You can see her long ears poking out of her hair. All right, but she has a really long ponytail. All right, it goes all the way down to her butt. There you go. If you take the if you take the cape off, you can see it more easily. Okay, but I'm just gonna leave it on. And it goes all the way down to her butt. It looks like it gets transparent as it gets to the tips too. So yeah. So it's kind of like a solid colored hair, and then it's transparent. All right, you can see it's still kind of transparent, all of it. So, but it's more solid at the roots, and then it gets more transparent at the tips. Very nice. It's I don't know what kind of green that is, man. It's almost like a lime green. Her hair. It's very bright, very light. Okay, you can see the ear, like I mentioned, the ear sticking out of her hair. All right, there's her face, her lovely face. She's got the same colored eyes as her hair. She's blushing a little bit. All right, her mouth is open. You can kind of see her tongue in there. All right, and then she's got these eyebrows right under her bangs. All right, let's take a look at the back. All right, and there's the back. Hair looks great. I can't see anything wrong with it. Okay, and it just kind of comes out and they're really sharp. Comes out really, really sharp. They look kind of like bananas, sort of. Just got like that super cyan hair, right? In the back. Okay, and yeah, so that's it. That's the figure, guys. There's a lot to talk about. Sorry, this video is kind of long. I kind of went into detail, but there was a lot of detail, and boy, she is beautiful. This figure is perfect. I can't really find anything wrong with it. All right, nothing major wrong with it. The dust, the base does attract some dust, is what I'm gonna say, but I guess that's how it goes. All right, but I'm absolutely satisfied with this figure. Was it worth the $180? Well, man, the $180 is a lot of money, man. I I wouldn't mind paying like 150, 120 for a figure like this. But she is big. All right, the figure is huge, and the paint is spectacular. All right, the guy that painted this figure, hats off to you. You did good. All right, the sculptor and the painter, you guys did the artist justice, is what I say. Okay, you brought her to 3D life. All right, is what I want to say. And yeah, so there's some optional things I mentioned. You can take the cape off. So if you want to take a look at her back or her hair more, you can do that. And you can also take the bow off. You don't have to have the bow there, but it looks so cool with it. All right. Also, the arrows in the quiver are a nice touch. All right, and they move around a little bit. They're not just like all glued in there. So, but you can't pull them out, unfortunately. I tried. Okay. But she's absolutely gorgeous, and yeah, I'm really, really happy with this figure. Okay, so I will get some 360s and close-ups, and that's the end of the video. I think this is the only Goblin Slayer figure I have. I know they have figures for the. They have a figure for each of the female characters, and more of them are coming out because the second season of Goblin Slayer just came out. Or we're in the middle of the second season right now of Goblin Slayer, season 2. I do have the Goblin Slayer Figma, so I may do a video on that in the near future, is what I'm gonna say. But I don't know. So I'm planning to get. I would like to get the Priestess, man. I think this one is the most expensive out of all of them because this one has the most detail. Like I said, it's got the bow, it's got the quiver. She's got the most intricate outfit, in my opinion. Yeah, and so the figure that I would want next is the Priestess, and I think that they're doing a second run for the Priestess. These figures are kind of hard to find. Every once in a while they'll pop up and they won't be cheap. Okay, but yeah, I would like to get the Priestess. There's also the Cowgirl. I'd like to probably get like there's an outfit of the Cowgirl that I really, really like. I don't know if they did a figure like of her like that. And then the Sword Maiden. I would like to get a Sword Maiden figure. Okay, so yeah, I think they have a figure for each of the female characters. All right, the female cast. Okay, so yeah, the one I want next is the Priestess. All right, she's so cute. Okay, and she's on the first volume of Goblin Slayer. So. And yeah, and it's nice that they recreated the artwork to perfection, pretty much. Okay, thanks for watching. Hayes Miguel.